What if your biggest enemy wasn't a stranger, but your own sister? I spent 12 years building a $70 million company, only for her to try to take it all in one night. She thought she'd won. She had no idea I'd been holding the ace card all along. My name's Elena Carter, and I learned the hard way that success doesn't always unite a family. Sometimes, it turns the people you love most into your most dangerous rivals. For more than a decade, I poured my soul into our family's tiny computer repair shop in Portland, transforming it from a dusty storefront barely paying rent into a multi-million-dollar tech empire. But with growth came whispers, and then betrayal. When I was a kid, I was the quiet one, head down, hands deep in old circuit boards, happiest fixing broken machines. My father's cramped shop was my sanctuary. My older sister, Sabrina, was the golden child, Stanford grad, flawless smile, job at a glamorous San Francisco firm. I stayed local, studied computer science at a community college, and kept our struggling shop alive. While she learned theory in lecture halls, I was learning reality, coding, solving client crises, spotting problems that other companies ignored. One day, I built a small software tool to help businesses manage customers faster and easier. It was simple, practical, and people loved it. That little program changed everything. We rebranded as Carter Tech Solutions, and I lived at the office, coding through the night, adding features, chasing clients. 6 years later, we hit $10 million a year in revenue. I thought my family would finally see me as more than the quiet sister. I was wrong. Sabrina's visits became sharper, smiles laced with criticism, questions about why we weren't thinking bigger. My father still saw her corporate polish as more valuable than my results. And behind their smiles, they were plotting. The ambush came at my dad's 60th birthday gala, a black-tie spectacle Sabrina organized at a luxury hotel. Midway through dinner, she tapped her glass and announced, "Effective immediately, I'll be taking over as sole CEO of Carter Tech Solutions." She called me a liability in front of our family, clients, and investors. My dad smiled proudly. My mom stayed silent. I left that room without a single tear, but with a plan. By dawn the next morning, I had already emailed every client, supplier, and employee. Most of them had loyalty contracts tied directly to me, contracts that were now void. My software? Owned by my separate company. Carter Tech only had a license, which expired at midnight. When Sabrina and my father walked into the office later that morning, ready to move my things out, I simply pulled up the documents on the big screen. I owned 60% of the company. My code was no longer theirs to sell. And 80% of our clients had already agreed to follow me to my new firm, Nova Core Systems. Their faces drained of color. By noon, both had resigned. The company was mine. We tripled in value within a year. Sabrina moved out of state for a much smaller role. My father finally admitted I'd saved the family's dream. But family gatherings? Cold,